Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
More storms by this afternoon. With that, some heat. It's going to continue to heat up into the start of the weekend. I'll tell you how hot we'll get.
Recovery and resources. Chapel Hill residents hit hard by last week's flooding get support. The toll that the damage and how they're beginning to rebuild there right now. Also reducing the risks, the Durham Fire Department is making a big change that could make a huge difference. The new unit protecting those who protect us. Something we have reported on a lot. We're going to follow it up with that story today for you. It's 4:30 right now. Good morning to you on our Thursday. I'm Jeff Hogan. Renee Chu will be along shortly. Right now, Grant Skinner is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We're going to wait on that heat today. We've got another summer cycle of storms coming our way.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot day today. The storms will arrive later today. So for now, things will stay quiet. It's a warm and humid start to this morning, but the shower chances are super minimal. There are some brief showers just offshore, and there are some more showers back towards the mountains and in parts of Tennessee. They've had some flooding issues back into Tennessee. That front still stalled just to the north and west. But for us, just a few clouds out right now. This is the view from our WRAL tower camera from southeast Wake County. You can see those low clouds still sprinkled over the area, but otherwise pretty quiet. Mid to upper 70s, 77 in South Hill, Fayetteville, 76 in Clinton, Smithfield at 77 to start the day today. Highs reaching the mid 90s, but of course with the humidity factored in, it's going to feel even hotter. We'll break down some more details on the heat index into the weekend and your storm chances today coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Grant. This morning, Chapel Hill businesses hit hard by last week's flooding. We'll get some one-on-one time with resources. Just last night, officials doubled the cost of damage to businesses in Chapel Hill. It'll take about $17 million for shops to make repairs. Innovate Carolina Junction will be hosting a resource opportunity for these businesses. A director with the organization explains the need of a relief effort like this.
We've been made aware of 35, 40 businesses that have just been completely wiped out and don't have their products available anymore and really don't have their space available.
That was Cheryl Waddell, and she says the event will be an open house. There'll be law firms, construction crew, anything that will provide support for business owners. It's from 10 to 2 at 136 East Rosemary Street. Today, the fire department will take a major step to protect firefighters from cancer-causing chemicals. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in Durham with how a new unit will help reduce cancer risks for first responders. Kelsey, good morning.
Jeff, good morning. Starting today, Durham Fire will start using a new unit here at Station 9 that will allow them to change into clean gear after a fire. Changing into clean gear is critical to limit their exposure to cancer-causing chemicals. WRAL Investigates has spent the past 7 years looking into cancer risk for firefighters. Cancer caused 66% of firefighters' deaths from 2002 to 2019, according to the latest CDC data. Raleigh Fire added a new truck to their department last year. It also was designed to limit crews' exposure. Durham Fire Chief Robert Zoldis explains how changing out of dirty gear can save lives.
This allows us to reduce one of the most sort of focus exposures they have, which is wearing the gear after the fire back to the station in a fire truck, which dirties the fire truck as well. If we can get rid of that one piece, we're going to be able to drop that exposure of our firefighters.
For a full timeline of our coverage on cancer risk for firefighters, head to WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
More than 6 people have now been charged in connection with a drive-by shooting in Creedmoor. The incident happened Sunday afternoon at Harris Park. One person was shot after a brief altercation. They were taken to the hospital and later released. Police have since made additional arrests, mostly all teenagers. 25-year-old Wiggins Jocelyn is charged with felony accessory after the fact and simple misdemeanor affray. 19-year-old Demir White and 5 other 17-year-olds have also been charged with misdemeanors. This is in addition to Monday's arrest of a 17-year-old. Today, a Cumberland County high school coach accused of contributing to the delinquency of a minor is expected in court. Luis Enrique Guillen was arrested Wednesday. He's accused of encouraging a minor to be in a place where alcohol was provided. He was a volunteer coach at Cape Fear High School. He has since been fired. Guillen was arrested after the school district reported the concerns to authorities. UNC police are trying to figure out who is responsible for several car break-ins on campus. The break-ins happened between 1 and 2 p.m. yesterday at the SECU Family House and Friday Center Park and Ride Lot. Anyone with information about these break-ins is asked to call UNC police. 2 people are facing charges in Durham County after what deputies call an elaborate phone scam. Deputies say the 2 showed up at someone's home this week. They claimed they had to move money to a Bitcoin ATM because their bank account was hacked. The person at the home called the sheriff's office. Crystal Brooks and Rudrax Rawat were arrested. Now they are charged with conspiracy and obtaining property by false pretenses. A former Johnston County School Board member who was convicted of extortion and obstruction of justice is now out of prison. Ronald Johnson was found guilty in January. He was sentenced to at least 6 months, which ended yesterday. He'll be on parole until next April. Johnson is also a former Smithfield police officer. He lost his law enforcement certification during that process. Computer maker Lenovo is laying off 3% of its workforce. The company says it's part of a regular review of costs. Lenovo's U.S. headquarters is in Morrisville. The company had about 5,100 employees there as of 2023. Lenovo wouldn't say how many people in North Carolina would be affected by the cuts. This morning, we are working to learn whether the DMV's credit card processing system is back online. Yesterday, the State Department of Transportation said all DMV officers were unable to process credit card transactions. WRAL confirmed the State Department of Information Technology was working to resolve the issue by this morning. We're still working to learn whether or not they have resolved that issue. All officers are accepting cash as an alternative form of payment. Today, state elections officials are giving an update on the process to verify voter registration. Tens of thousands of North Carolina voters are expected to receive letters in the coming weeks asking them to prove they are who they say they are. This is part of actions North Carolina elections officials are taking to resolve a lawsuit from the Trump administration, claiming the state violated federal election rules. So far, there's no proof of voter fraud. The State Board of Elections is holding a news conference about its next steps to verify voters this morning at 10 o'clock. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie will be at this news conference this morning about the registration repair project. You can tune in to WRAL Evening News starting at 4 p.m. to hear Laura explain what you can expect if an election official reaches out to you. A Manhattan federal prosecutor who worked on Jeffrey Epstein's case has been fired. Maureen Comey, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, was let go from her job in the Southern District of New York. That's according to several sources. The reason for her firing is not yet known, but her father was fired by President Trump during his first term. A spokesman for the Southern District declined to comment. The White House didn't respond to a request for comment as well. Uvalde County and the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District must release public records from the Robb Elementary School mass shooting. That's the latest ruling from Texas Fourth Court of Appeals. The court found Uvalde County and Uvalde CISD violated the Texas Public Information Act by improperly withholding critical documents from the public. The public records include body cam footage, 911 calls, radio logs, emails, and texts from that shooting. Just about 20 minutes before 5 on your Thursday, and cutting school costs. As the summer nears an end, parents are looking ahead for ways to save what families are expected to spend per child. And rain, heat, and bugs, the 3 things some are dealing with after recent storms and floods, how you can protect yourself and your property. And it's also heating up out there. It's a live look at Fenton in Cary. Good morning to you. Meteorologist Grant Skinner breaks down when the heat might spike this weekend.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
Well, a warm and humid start to this Thursday morning. Most places in the mid to upper 70s. 79 in Raleigh, Garner at 77 degrees, 77 in Zebulon. It's going to get hot by this afternoon. Heat index values exceeding 100 degrees. and getting even hotter into the weekend. But for now, not too bad. 79 in Raleigh, Fayetteville at 77 degrees, Clinton at 76, South Hill is sitting at 77 to start your day. Hang out the door, 78 degrees and partly cloudy skies across our area. A few spots could see less in the way of clouds, with those rain chances spiking this afternoon. Only around 40% though. They won't be widespread showers and storms. They'll be isolated across our area, but that best chance between 5 and 7 o'clock. I'll break down those storm chances in more detail on Futurecast coming up in just a bit, and we'll talk more about that heat into the weekend.
A local canine helped deputies make a big drug bust along I-95. Waldo helped to sniff out nearly 2 kilos of cocaine and a large amount of cash. This was during a traffic stop yesterday. He works with the Nash County Sheriff's Office. 2 men, one from Pennsylvania, another from Maryland, were arrested on trafficking and other drug charges.
Good job, Waldo. Governor Josh Stein's dog came face to face with a bear. But the good news is there was a window between them. The governor posted this photo to Facebook of his dog Harper and a baby bear looking at each other through a front door window. The encounter came during the governor's recent trip to Asheville.
We're halfway through summer, but some families are already thinking about back to school, not just to get a head start, but also to save some cash. National Retail Federation says families with K through 12 students are expected to spend an average of nearly $900 on back to school this year. A CNBC report says the average cost per child will hit about $570. College students, that's $1,400, and not just because of tariffs. Lower income families are also budgeting for cuts in SNAP, food benefits, and Medicaid. All of this is driving families away from big box stores and toward discount stores.
It's not stuff that you necessarily need a name brand for.
You don't. A pencil is a pencil. We're trying to make sure that we're there for the customer that can't afford to go there and spend.
According to CNBC, back to school supplies will be 20% higher than before the pandemic.
Digital court service eCourts goes online in 14 more counties next week. The counties in yellow are along the Tennessee and Virginia borders. The service launches Monday. The final 13 counties that you see here shaded in red join the service in October.
Storms create flooding and wind and can also unleash a wave of pests. WRAL climate change reporter Liz McLaughlin shows us what's behind the outbreak and how to protect your skin and your home.
What starts as a peaceful creek like this one can quickly become a breeding ground for insects that bite, sting, and destroy your lawn. Moxie Pest Control says business is picking up after recent rain.
Ants are the big one. Roaches, even mice trying to get in, get high, get dry, away from that rain. But most specifically and probably most impacted is mosquitoes.
Storms are creating more breeding grounds, and this week's triple-digit heat is only making it worse.
With those breeding sites elevating the way they are in a small gestation period, which is how long it takes for something to develop from what we call a squirmer to an adult, this really increases that speed.
NC State entomologist Terry Billison says summer storms can quickly tip the balance in the insect world.
Most insects, in order to grow and develop, they need 2 things. They need heat and they need moisture.
And it's not just mosquitoes. Fall armyworms, tiny caterpillars that chew through grass, are also primed to surge again. After Tropical Storm Debbie last year, hundreds of lawns across North Carolina turned brown almost overnight.
The whole system of the storm kind of catalyzed everything. And so we're not there yet, I don't think, but I anticipate that another significant rainfall event or 2 and these armyworm populations will be going.
Experts say taking preventative measures now could save you from bites or brown grass later. It's a good idea to tip and toss anything with standing water around your home, and just enough water to fill this bottle cap can be enough for mosquitoes to breed. Might be a good idea to check your gutters too. That can also be a problem area. In Raleigh, I'm Liz McLaughlin, WRAL News.
Fayetteville Fire Department's fire SUV got an upgrade. The trucks are driven by battalion chief supervisors. They provide on-scene leadership. The fleet of fire SUVs is now equipped with a rear storage compartment that keeps contaminated equipment out of the passenger compartment of the truck.
Parts of historic Yates Mill County Park are closed in Raleigh while crews make some repairs. The county told us crews need to replace the water wheel because it got too old. Crews should wrap the project up sometime this fall. The county expects the project to cost $500,000.
The Fort Bragg signs are returning to area roads. State DOT crews are working to remove the signs that say Fort Liberty that went up in 2023. They started the work this week on I-95. Signs on secondary roads are next. Overall, DOT crews have to replace more than 100 signs now that the base has changed back to Fort Bragg. The work should be complete this fall.
It is 4:48 and hope your morning is going a lot more smoothly than mine did. So really quickly, I got to work on time, but then I left my makeup bag at home. I had to double back all the way home, come back to the station, whatever. That's why you saw Jeff a little more in like that first block. And now I'm with you guys, Grant. I had to,
Yep.
I didn't want the viewers, to have to see like the no makeup thing. I needed to get it together and then come on air. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Yeah, so.
I get it.
And I'm glad the roads were dry at least. No
Yes,
rain.
the roads were dry, no rain. It was quiet this morning. We had some storms yesterday. They were very isolated, and they'll be same with today. Isolated showers and storms by this afternoon. It's quiet this morning, though, from Lewisburg. You can see a few clouds out there. Otherwise, it's really quiet. Winds are pretty calm out there as well, and temperatures are starting in the mid to upper 70s. So it's still a warm and humid start. It's going to be hot this afternoon. Highs mid to upper 90s across the area. Some spots feeling even hotter with the humidity factored in. Well, the chance for those isolated storms. But before the storms, 96 in Sanford, Lewisburg at 95 by this afternoon, Roanoke Rapids at 92, Clinton at 95 degrees by this afternoon. And those heat index values around 103, 104, maybe some spots even hotter than that, 105, 106. I think the best chance to see those temperatures getting into the heat advisory criteria will be tomorrow and also on Saturday. Let's break down the chances for showers and storms on Futurecast the rest of the day. You can see things are going to remain quiet this morning. We'll have some scatter clouds for some spots, but most areas will stay mostly clear for the first part of the day. And then, as we see with our typical summertime pattern, extra clouds by the afternoon, then isolated showers and storms pop up. I think the majority of them will stay in our northern spots for the good portion of the day, but again, we could still see some isolated showers in our southern spots as well, closer to the Sandhills. And then by this evening, some lingering showers. Otherwise, it's going to be quieter by later today. With some of these storms, we could have some brief, stronger storms. Damaging wind gusts is going to be the main threat. As we typically see with these summertime storms, those downbursts create strong wind gusts. And also we could see some localized flooding, but that threat is lower today. Just watch out for some areas of ponding with some of those heavier downpours. It's getting hot by the weekend, though. Friday, 97 degrees, 95 Saturday, 96 on Sunday. And with the humidity, it's just going to feel really, really hot out there. Make sure to drink plenty of water.
Thanks, Grant. Winning vibes. How staying true to her roots helped a local chef win on the national stage.
Final chapter coming. Stranger Things is back with the first look at its epic ending. It's not just the upside down that's heating up. 4:54. Durham's own Ade Carena just took home a national title. The chef and spice maker behind Alewa Foods is fresh off her victory on Food Network's Chopped. Carena joined us yesterday on Fox 50. She says she won by staying true to herself and her native West African flavors.
Good for her. Minnesota officers were sent out to a different type of police chase this week. They were searching for sheep. The officers were dispatched to help track down and shepherd this runaway sheep. They eventually captured him nearly a mile away from where it all started.
You can now book a room at a new boutique hotel in Cary. Hive House sits along Leadsom Lane off Highway 1 in the Crossroads area. This is the latest venture by CMC Hotels, a Cary-based hotel management firm. CMC owns and operates many hotels and restaurants in Raleigh and Cary and other parts of the state. Love the decor.
Movie and streaming news. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Wherever this blood leads. I need you to fight one last time.
Here's your first look at the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. Our heroes are united, but their town is under military quarantine. 11 is in hiding, and the final battle is looming. Volume 1 of the final season debuts November 26th on Netflix, with Volume 2 on Christmas Day and the finale on New Year's Eve.
You've seen them too. That's very interesting.
My Neighbor Totoro is returning to theaters. The magical adventure from Oscar-winning director Hayao Miyazaki screens in Japanese with subtitles on July 21st and 22nd and dubbed in English on July 19th, 20th, and 23rd. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
Superman fans may be taking more dogs home because of the movie. The dog training app Woofs tells the Wrap Google searches for Adopt a Dog Near Me jumped more than 500% after the film's opening weekend. Good boy, Crypto. Good boy. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
4:56, help during a crisis. Today, the 988 hotline stops offering services tailored to LGBTQ plus youth. How North Carolina leaders share how they'll keep giving support.
And protecting our protectors. There's a new tool in Durham to help reduce firefighter exposure to cancer-causing chemicals. How a new van will help to limit risks.
And healthy summer snacks. 5 on Your Side is helping you figure out which kids' snack bars are actually healthy.